once they get there. Mexico's been demanding it, and now we're getting reports the State Department is essentially telling Mexico, don't worry about it. Republican Congressman John Carter of Texas sick of it. Congressman, is that true? First off, we're getting kind of heebie-jeebie responses from the powers that be at INS and elsewhere. What are they really going to be doing when they get there?
Well, first off, those are not resources that are anywhere near adequate for what needs to be done on the southern border. We are in the middle of a war zone down there, and enemies of our country are sneaking into the country. There's a new terror alert in Houston for Somalis that have been clearly sneaking across our country with intent to do harm, and they're all coming across that southern border.
So what are these guys going to do? What is it your understanding, Congressman, they're going to do when they arrive?
Well, what the president has authorized, they're going to be clerks back off the border, probably shuffling papers. But what we really need is we need to put 25,000 American National Guardsmen all the way up and down the border. And I've offered to amend the supplemental bill to add $2 billion in funding for that.
Where's that going?
Well, all to the southern border to fund.
No. Where is that going? Your request to?
Well, it was going to be in debate this week, but it looks like the Republicans have temporarily the Democrats have temporarily pulled it down. I was ready to do it in markup this afternoon, but they canceled the markup. You know,
we did the rough math here. We took our socks off, counted our fingers and toes on how 1,200 individuals spread out across the border, the size that goes through your state and the others affected, and it works out to each one of these guys 1.6, 1.7 miles apart. If they were to stand on that border and guard that border. But you're saying they won't even be doing that.
Well, that's not what we understand. We understand that they're going to be in a non-combatant status. And the last time they went to the border, the first deployment was in a non-combatant status, and basically they were able to relieve border patrolmen so that they could shuffle paperwork and transport people. And in fact, we had that incident in the Texas border where a bunch of them came under fire and had no way to defend themselves and had to call for relief from the border patrol. It's a wrong thing to do with the National Guard.
And you've pointed out before, and it's a very good point, that sometimes just the mere presence of these guys just walking around, much like we had it in Times Square here in New York, when we had a potential terrorist threat, just seeing all the police in uniform later on, it's a powerful presence, and that's kind of what you were getting at. They don't have to have a combative role as much as just be seen and be feared, right?
And that certainly would be a great assistance to what's going on down there. Now, I personally don't think it's right that we allow American citizens to be fired at by automatic weapons on our side of the border without us being able to respond. And I personally think they should light them up, but that's my personal opinion.
All right, Congressman, weird stuff, but thanks, and update us when you get anywhere on that $2 billion thing. All right, in the meantime, did the White House offer this congressman a job to drop out of a very important race? Well, the president was just asked that very question. I want you to guess how he handled it, and guess who is not satisfied?
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.